Welcome back to the Oddcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Ricky.
And we're just two odd dudes who decided to start a podcast.
And today we're talking about our favorite board games for episode number 30 of the Oddcast.
Yeah, is this episode 30?
This is episode 30.
Wait, I thought we were supposed to have Paul on for episode 30.
Well, we forgot. So,
episode
Paul,
31.
31, you're back, baby.
Wait, or this is episode 31.
No, this is episode 30. We're not changing it. That's too confusing. This is episode 30. Paul will be on for episode 31.
All right.
Like in the comments if you want to see Paul.
Cap
or else he'll be sad.
1. Yep.
So we're going to talk about our favorite
Board games
that make us bored.
Yeah, and this is strictly games that you play on a board, like that come in a box. Maybe not. What are we talking about board game? It has to have a board, right?
Is there a lot of games you buy that don't come in a box of some sort?
Yeah.
Cards come in a box.
No. Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, Frisbee comes in a box.
It doesn't come in really in a box. It comes in like a packaging.
It's a cardboard box.
It's cardboard. It's not a box.
Is it square shaped?
No. It's like if you look at like
what kind of Frisbees are you buying, man?
What? I don't know. Frisbee. It's got like an L shape that it sits in, but that's not a box.
I have no idea what you're talking about kind of box, but okay, we'll move on. We're talking about board games that do predominantly have a board. We will still talk about card games and in their nuanced way in this, but
yeah.
Predominantly it has to have a board or playing surface of some sort.
Yeah.
So let's get to the Oddcast. So, we're not going to argue about Frisbees because who cares? Frisbees are dumb. Boomerangs are better. We should all be trained in boomerangs.
Ultimate boomerang.
Imagine boomerang golf. Way cooler.
It would never go anywhere.
It would if you hit it.
You mean if you threw it?
Yeah, if you threw it or accurate. That's what boomerangs are meant for. They're not meant really to just come back to you. They do come back to you because of the amazing design, but they were meant as hunting weapons.
Really? I don't know anything about boomerangs. All I know about boomerangs is one, they're Australian for some reason.
Yeah, they're literally a weapon.
Yeah, but like 2 is Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's all I know.
All right, well, we're moving on from that because we don't want to get into that.
I'm going to watch a docuseries on boomerangs.
That'd be really cool. Can I come watch it?
Sure, yeah.
You could make leftover pizza for me.
But as long as you leave and then come back.
Fair enough. I'll do it. I'll do a perfect circle.
Perfect circle.
I'll do the loop 101.
Okay, yeah, the whole thing.
And just come right back to your house.
You'll go the opposite way and then meet. Yeah, okay.
Okay. We're going to talk about favorite board games. But before we get to our favorites,
right, let's
talk about just some really good ones that people brought up.
Okay. This is like the first one that I saw in here and I saw multiple times, is Monopoly. What's your opinion on Monopoly?
Oh my gosh. Can I tell you my Monopoly story? Have I told you this?
Yeah. Well, sure. No. Maybe.
What the heck was that?
I was saying, please do. Like, tell me it. And then you said, have I told you? And I said, yes. And then I thought, oh, he said, have I told you?
Yeah.
And so I said, no.
Yeah. So you don't know.
Maybe.
You don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard.
It was like my 5th birthday.
Okay. Wait, hold up. Your 5th birthday? You're playing Monopoly?
Yes.
Whoa. Smart kid.
I know. Master's degree, man.
Wait. When you were 5? Yeah.
Not a 5. So, 5th birthday, we went on like a road trip, motorhome.
Yeah.
Long story. That night, we're in the motorhome because that's how my family would travel. It was my dad, me, my stepmom. She's going to be so mad I'm telling the story, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, as a little kid, this is not me trying to be boastful, but it was a little bit. I'm really good at games.
Yeah.
I'm good at board games.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago in the Catwalk.
I'm good at strategy games. I was good at a lot of things at a young age, like sports-wise, athletic-wise. There was a couple things I was not good at. One was bowling. I cried every time I bowled because I was so bad at it. I was like Batman. I faced my fear. Now I'm like a 150 to 200 bowler. Take that, bowling. Stupidest game in the entire world.
You could become Bowlman.
But I really love bowling. All right, so we're playing Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my wife will confirm that when I'm winning and I'm trying to be quiet about it, there's a smirk that comes on my face.
Okay, yeah.
Especially if there's a point in a game where it looks like I'm not winning.
Yeah.
Like one of our favorite games that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite game. And then the tables turn.
Yeah.
And I just get this little like smirk that there's nothing I can do to hide it. Like I
Yeah.
try, but it's just like the internal smile. It's just like, oh,
It's coming.
you're
Yeah.
about to die.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I would never be like professional chess player. Well, also because I'm not smart enough. But also, like, even if I was, I wouldn't be good at it because there'd be a point in the game where I'd realize I'm like, the table is about to turn. And there's be no poker face.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had that as a little kid. And so my dad and I started to team up against my stepmom.
Oh, no.
On the board.
Yeah.
And
which, by the way, always works out well.
Yeah. And the smirk was coming from a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, Monopoly is a long game, especially because nobody plays it right. And there's a lot of ways in which people don't understand that Monopoly is played wrong.
Yeah.
Like for the fact that if you land on a space, it's supposed to go up for auction if you don't buy it. That's how Monopoly works. Read the rules, people. Anyways, we weren't playing that way. So it was taking a while.
Yeah. So
the grin was becoming more and more present.
Yeah. Oh, it gets worse over time.
And, if there was a 5-year-old, think about this. 5-year-old me, I looked almost the same.
Yeah.
No beard. A little smaller.
Yeah.
Constantly asking you for the money that you owe me. With the little just want to punch you in the face grin. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so eventually, the pressure became too much for my stepmom.
Yeah.
And so on my birthday, she flipped the board.
No.
Literally just Jesus in the temple flipping tables.
That's awesome. Good for her.
And we did not play Monopoly for over 10 years.
Oh my gosh. You at all? Or just you with her?
It was banned from the house.
Oh my. Wow.
We still had the game because we had like the classic old version.
Right.
Which I think is now gone because, moving and stuff. Yeah, we were not allowed to play it.
Wow.
And we finally played again one Christmas, or it was New Year's Eve.
And
guess who won?
Who won? Did the same thing happen? Oh no!
The same thing happened. I was very, very clear. My dad, and I,
it
was like, we cannot team up against my stepmom, or else this will end.
Right.
Like we were finally allowed to play the game again, so we weren't going to ruin it in the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monopoly.
Wow.
But here's the problem: nobody plays it right. Monopoly just one that like, all right, land. No, everyone's got their own house rules for Monopoly. That's why it takes forever. It's supposed to go a lot quicker.
Okay, see, that's always been my biggest problem is I don't want to sit down and play an entire game of Monopoly for like 4 hours.
Right, yeah. It's not supposed to last that long, but the fact is it's kind of like Villainous, like we played. Okay. You have to sit and read all the rules to really understand it. And once you do, it goes a lot quicker.
Maybe I would be more into Monopoly because I've always...
We should try playing it as adults.
Not liked... Oh, yeah. I haven't played it for years. I did play it once where... It was like the new version, so you got like a credit card or whatever.
Crippling debt Monopoly or whatever.
I don't know what it was, but
the anti-Dave Ramsey.
Anti-Dave Ramsey. The deny Dave version.
Everything on credit, please.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on, I gotta get my envelope system.
I brought other money from the normal Monopoly, brought it in here. I'm not doing the credit.
Okay.
No credit card. I'm gonna snip that thing.
We have to do this. We can't do it with our friends now because they listen to the podcast. But we have to start a game night with somebody that we know doesn't. I don't know. We'll find somebody.
Okay.
We'll befriend new people or people we know that don't listen to this.
Right.
Right. And then we'll have a game night. We'll have them over, and me and you will do the Dave Ramsey envelope system with our cash, and they'll have no idea what's going on, and we could be like trading things just silently.
I think this is what we do.
It's genius.
Listen, this podcast.
This is my utility bill.
Yeah, this podcast isn't coming out for another 2 Tuesdays.
All right, game night right weekends. Now. If you are hearing this at this point, we've already mind tricked you.
Yeah, you got.
Take that, guys.
We could do this at my bachelor party.
Yeah, we could. Paul, don't tell anyone.
Yeah. All right. Paul, you can be part of it, or you can be the banker.
I'll be the banker. A lot.
Or
of
you could dress up like
Monopoly.
Dave. You got the beard. You have to shave your head though.
Monopoly. Why do all these people say Monopoly? Nobody's playing Monopoly, y'all.
Maybe
when was the last time all of you guys played Monopoly?
Or maybe they're thinking of the McDonald's Monopoly. McDonald's or Safeway Monopoly.
A Safeway Monopoly. Yeah. I'm about that.
I used to save those all the time.
Never won anything?
One time I won a free bagel.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice, man. That's pretty
cool. The bagel tastes so good free.
Free bagel.
Yeah.
Land of the free bagel. All right. Oh my gosh, I was going to say something. Another honorable mention that I thought of was
Risk. Stratego. Is it a strategy game? You like strategy
Scrabble.
Games? Scrabble. Oh, I love Scrabble.
I love Scrabble.
Yeah.
Listen here, Linda.
Yeah.
If you are like, I love Scrabble too, I play Words with Friends, that's not Scrabble. End of rant.
That's it? That's your only rant?
Words with Friends is not Scrabble.
But it's very similar.
To be good at Scrabble, you actually have to know words. To be good at Words with Friends, you have to have the patience to sit there and move your letters around long enough until you find the biggest point word. Or
is that have you done
Google
that?
search Scrabble word finder and you put in your 7 tiles and it tells you the best one.
Yeah.
Don't be that person.
Either be good at a
game or be bad at a game and get better at the game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
That'll
absolutely
preach.
fair. Is there like a rule in Scrabble that if you place down a word that's not a real word, then you lose that turn?
I have no idea. We never played that. We would just always be like, is that a word? Because there's some words in Scrabble that are Scrabble words that are not real words. Like QI is a Scrabble word.
Chi.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a Scrabble word. QAT is also a Scrabble word.
What's that? How you say that?
I don't know.
Cat?
Quat?
Quat.
I don't know. It's a Scrabble word. If you look it up in
You
Scrabble
sounded like
dictionary,
an angry duck.
I don't know. Quack.
Quat. Yeah.
But if you look it up in the Scrabble dictionary, it's in there. It is and it can also be plural.
Quats.
Quats.
Don't
know what it means.
I want to know
but
what
it
it
could
is.
be. We could look it up after.
Comment down below.
But
our whatever.
So Scrabble
Somewhere.
became the other
Tell us
thing
what quats is.
that my family had.
Yeah.
But we had the deluxe board.
Oh, the one that spins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, it was so cool.
Everything was kept inside, and you're like, oh, and you have your little tile pieces. It was great. We should play Scrabble.
I would love to play
Here's
Scrabble.
a problem.
What? What's the problem?
People get bored of Scrabble.
What?
And they're like, it's an adult game. Yeah, it is. It's because I'm an adult, and I want to learn. And you know what? Scrabble ups your vocabulary. I'm fine with that.
And your spelling.
And your spelling. And
Yeah.
we suck at spelling.
Yeah, because nobody spells anymore.
No,
it's
spell
all
check
on your phone.
everything. And let me ask you this. You got to be 100% honest.
Do I know how to spell restaurant?
No.
Not totally.
No. Wednesday,
Oh, yeah.
right? You got to be totally honest.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to spell a word, do you talk to text it into your phone?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Totally. I do it with restaurant all the time. I've looked up how to spell restaurant multiple times. Still don't know.
Alex's number one Google thing is not restaurants. It's just restaurant.
Like,
but it's all spelled wrong.
Tell me if I'm right. I spell restaurant in my head right now. I'm going to try it. RESTARAUNT. Is it? What is it? How do you spell restaurant?
Missed the U. That's like, have you seen Joe Sanagata's videos of pregnant? No, the people spelling, am I pregnant? Wrong. Am I pregnant? Am I pregnante? That's you with restaurant.
You know what?
Restaurante.
You know what's the funniest one to me is as a kid, probably like up until high school, like the end of high school, I spelled wisdom wrong. I always spelled it wisdom. And the other day, like my brain farted or something, and I was typing wisdom.
What did it smell like?
I don't know. It smelled like not wisdom though. It smelled like wisdom. I spelled it with 2 E's, but wise DOME, and I looked at it and I was just like, I'm an idiot. Like I don't know how that happened.
WISEDUMB.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
He is such a wisdom man. All right. So I love games like that. I love games. I love strategy games, and I love games that help you learn. And I know that makes me sound like a weird old man. That's why I love Jeopardy.
Is that why I like Kahoot?
No, Kahoot's fun. I use it in my classroom.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking like, did you ever play Cranium?
Yes. Oh,
Cranium
I love Cranium.
was a phenomenal game. Like, they should bring Cranium back. And one of the things that people didn't like about Cranium was the sculpting part of it. That's an amazing, though. That was an amazing aspect to a game that all of a sudden it encompassed charades. It encompassed thought process. It encompassed true or false things. It encompassed spelling, because there were spelling ones in there. It encompassed defining words. And then the sculpting as well. Like, it was such a well-rounded game. It didn't matter what you were good at. You needed a team.
Right.
I love that about Cranium.
Actually,
like, you needed an artist with you.
I would say now, I put Quelf on here as my favorite board game because I just enjoy seeing people do stupid stuff. But honestly, I hadn't thought about Cranium. Cranium is absolutely my favorite board game.
Really?
Now that we talk about it,
we should buy.
I enjoy playing Cranium more than any other board game.
I haven't played Cranium in years. I think it's such a fun game.
It is.
We should buy it. Is it still? Check and see if it's still in production for us. That's our next TikTok. We're just gonna play Cranium together.
Okay.
And it's gonna be like
together.
100 different TikToks of us playing.
Oh, it's not even. There's not gonna be no cuts. It's just
no
gonna
cuts. It's just
it's gonna
us
be live
Cranium.
playing of it. Yeah.
But it was such a good game. Like there's math parts involved. So you have to have a team.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it. Like team-oriented games. Here's games I don't like. Like I'm fine with random games of chance. I'm fine with, the exploding kittens or
right.
We have the unstable unicorns and they're fine. They're fine.
Right.
I enjoy them. Games that are like there's somewhat strategy, but then there's all this chance that gets thrown in that like try and level the playing field, I think are dumb.
Yeah?
I do. Like games that you play where the cards move around the table and like it lessens my strategy because I can have a really good strategy, but it doesn't matter because if I don't get to see the cards until you hand them to me and you've already taken something, like they can be fun, but it's not, to me, that's not like a strategy game. Yeah. Right? Because like if we don't really know, like there's so much luck involved in that. And there's always going to be some luck involved in a game. It's part of the game, right? Rolling of a dice, these type of things. But like that's different than like, there's cards moving around the table. There is Cranium? $17. $17. We are buying Cranium tonight, and we're gonna play it. We're gonna play it at your bachelor party.
Yeah,
and what we're gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
The Dave Ramsey version of it.
Yeah, you're gonna trade money. We're using the envelope system, so
if you win, you got to put it in your envelope. This is my winning one. This is the discard pile.
This is going into my weekly spending.
We're gonna bet on. It's like, all right, it's a sculpting one, $5. I think I can do it.
No way you can do that. I'll take that $5.
It's like, all right, we need you to sculpt a UFO capturing a clown riding a cow.
What? That's not a thing that. Whoa!
If you could do that, that'd be phenomenal.
We should make a Cranium. We should just make a few Cranium cards that are like absolutely outrageous. Like
We're weird enough to do that.
Yeah, we probably have the resources, I think, to print out a card in a way that was somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, we have the technology.
Where were we before this? I had something to say.
I was talking about the strategy games that I don't really like. Strategy games are not really strategy that add in a lot of, and they're fun. They're still fun. I wouldn't not play them. Yeah, I just don't think they're strategy games. Yeah, and I love strategy games or thinking games.
Yeah, I think what's fun about those games that aren't strategy games is like you see all of the natural human competitiveness come out in everybody because there is that chance, which means those people who are competitive, who want to be good at the games and have taken time to actually be good at games, can't just by nature be good at this game.
Right, they're not just going to dominate.
Exactly. Yeah. So their competitiveness comes out and they get angry. And it's so fun to watch.
I agree with you. Like I think there's a time and a place where like exploding kittens will make me angry because I'm like, you got me again. Yeah. Right? Like, because there is a chance involved and all that kind of stuff. But to me, it's like, okay, I want to be clear. Like, this is what we're playing. We're playing a game of chance. And like when people start like talking trash about winning exploding kittens, and I'm like, okay, man, like you drew cards and you played those cards in a really good order that nobody knew what was happening. It was all just chance. Right. Like, you're not good because you win at exploding kittens. Nobody is good at exploding kittens. Right. You're just lucky. Like lucky, right? Or like you just by chance have not gotten blown up, or you're cheating. If you're good at exploding kittens, I think you're a magician that manipulates the cards somehow.
You point at me, but the amount of times I've won exploding kittens is very few.
Yeah, all right. We haven't played a lot of exploding kittens together.
Here's a question for you.
Here's an answer for you.
Would you say, for those of you who are listening with your ears, we just held hands.
Watching with their ears.
Watching with your ears, yeah. Would you say that like some forms of poker aren't they're not strategy games, but they require acting.
Yeah, I would say there's a strategy to poker because the strategy in poker is not in the cards though, it's in the betting. Right. Okay. Because it is in the acting, it's in the manipulation of people. So there is a strategy. Yeah. So like people always think like, oh, you have to learn how to bluff really well. You don't have to learn how to bluff really well. You have to be able to read people really well and know how to act in a way that is inconspicuous. Yes, it's not always bluffing. Like you have to know your natural tendencies and be able to strategically move them because everyone thinks that like if you're really good at bluffing, then all of a sudden you can be good at poker. Well, you do still have to have, the right hands in poker to be able to win. Right. But the other side of it is if I always play the same way in poker, if my strategy is always the same and I'm really good at bluffing, people are going to catch on to that. Right. You have to be able to manipulate your strategy.
Yeah, you have to adapt to whoever you're playing with.
Exactly. So there is still a strategy involved. While there is, some aspect of chance involved in the drawing of the cards, you can still be a good poker player and have bad cards. Like Exploding Kittens, there's not much you can do when the thing's going to explode. You can't bluff your way out of it.
Right.
You're like, I have no cards and I can't do anything.
I would say there are some strategies to things like to Exploding Kittens, but nothing.
Right, like how you use your cards.
Yeah, like I know I've played before where I'm like, my goal right now is to get a second diffuse because I know there's one more in the deck and I'm going to do everything I can to get another diffuse so that I'm safer.
So I will say I would
strategy,
agree with that.
But I think it's still not like chess strategy where everything is like thought out. Like I'm trying to beat these people. That's like I'm trying to be safe.
Right. Well, I would say there's this part of strategy of those games. Something like Exploding Kittens, or we play Coup a lot. We used to play Coup a lot. Is counting. If you are able to, in your mind, keep track of what is going on. Paul, were you there the one time when we played Coup and I counted out everyone's cards? It was amazing. It was so fun. It was 5 straight people. I counted out what card they had without seeing them while I was playing and what card they flipped over.
Yeah.
Like they would it was because I know the game so well and I know the people so well.
Yeah.
That I just was like, they are so predictable because we'd been playing for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That just the way you're watching how they're playing and watching the strategy, I was able to be like, it was 5 straight people. I got 5 cards in a row right.
Wow.
Right. And it's just the understanding the strategy. So the counting of the cards. And because we were playing with 6 people, that makes it easier with Coup once you start to know more about the game. So the same with Exploding Kittens, like with diffuses and stuff like that. If you know how many cards there are and you're starting to watch, being like, okay, they played theirs, there is a strategy of like, okay, who am I targeting to try and give myself a better probability of winning? But it still just becomes probability because then one person throws a reverse out there and your whole thing is just blown up.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
So the chance still knocks it out of the park. But anyways, I like strategy games.
Yeah, I always my brother's a big strategy game guy. I think I've talked about this before, but I grew up and he was like, "Ooh, I want to play this new strategy game," right? And like as a kid, when you play a strategy game with your brother who's 4 years older than you, and
you lose every time.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Like even now, like I lose every time I play with Ben, just because he's a really smart guy, and so he's been growing up doing strategy stuff his whole life, and I was the guy who played Minecraft, like
Well, and it also like there's an aspect where you've probably bought into the understanding of like he's going to be good at it, you're going to be at a disadvantage, so you play into the like I know
I care less.
Yeah, you're not as invested because there's not a pride aspect of I'm an older brother that has dominated this young man for 20 some years.
Right,
I have to continue that legacy.
Exactly.
You're just like I'm the sheep king.
Yeah, I'm the sheep king.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. And so like I grew up not caring about strategy games because I was like, I'm gonna lose these. Like my brother, I remember I was like 10 or something like that. My brother's like, we're gonna play Risk, and I was like, okay.
I've never actually played a whole game of Risk.
It was horrible.
Is it fun?
Well, no. You probably
have you played it again since then?
No.
Oh.
I haven't.
He
but
ruined
I have played this game with my brother recently that it's called Scythe.
I've heard of this.
Yeah. It's actually pretty fun. I think you would enjoy it. I'm obviously like I'm not great at strategy games, so I play it just because I'm like I'm gonna hang out with my brother.
Do you still enjoy them when you play them though?
Yeah, I enjoy them, but I'm not like I want.
Does it depend on who you're playing with?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, every time I play a board game, it's like I wouldn't play this board game online with random people who I can't talk to. Like it's all about the people aspect of it.
I would never do that.
Yeah, that would be stupid, right?
I would never play Catan online. My wife did. I never did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, really. Ask her.
Okay.
Erica was training.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Anyway, board game is fun. It's actually Scythe is a lot like Risk and Catan mixed, because it's like a lot of gathering of resources and
Risk
also
Catan.
battle. So like, because Catan is a war game, Risk is a war game. Catan is that's why I get the sheep.
You think it's a war game?
They're the only resource that can fight. I mean, come on.
He's like, come on, sheep army, arise. Alex gets really weird when we play Catan.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, like at this point,
the wool coat comes out.
When we all play Catan, like at this point, I'm like, I feel like I should just not play this round because everybody's gonna have a better time while I'm happy. I'll go do something else. You guys can all do your strategy thing. I'll hang out. I'll come say hi every now and then,
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. We haven't played Catan in a long time.
I think it's because of me.
I think it's because of you.
I know. I'm telling you.
It's not a negative thing. It's just like, we know Alex doesn't like this
That's
game.
what I'm saying. And I have no problem. Y'all
we'll play
should just play
Jackbox.
it. Oh, no. I mean, I like Jackbox. It's fun. It's a party game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's I was telling Tony that the other day. She was like, yeah, because you don't ever want to play seriously. I'm like, just play without me. Just like, dude, I don't need to play Catan. You just have to have fun. But I appreciate that you guys don't want to play if I'm not playing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice. It's sweet. But we're friends enough now that I feel like you guys should be able to.
Right. All right. Who cares about Alex? We're playing Catan. He can go sit on the couch.
Exactly. I'll do it, man. I'll have a great time.
I'll
go play Minecraft.
He's playing Jackbox by himself. Solitaire.
I do love Solitaire, honestly.
All right, let's get into some more of these. Some of these I've never heard of. Catan. I've heard of that. Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah. Is it a board game?
Yeah, there is a board in certain versions of Trivial Pursuit.
Okay.
Honestly, I like Trivial Pursuit. It wasn't spiced up enough. It's just a basic trivia game, obviously, which I like. But there's so many other ways in which to do that are just more fun.
Like watching Jeopardy.
Like watching Jeopardy, right? Or have you ever played the Scene It games?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Scene It games are so much fun.
They are fun.
Right? And that was back when DVDs were cool.
Yeah.
Back in the DVD day. Man, I'm not old, but I feel old when you start talking about this stuff.
DVDs. Yeah.
Right? I loved it. I love seeing it and the trivia aspect and the different little nuances.
Yeah.
It was like Cranium, but more modern,
movie
without the sculpting and the artistic form.
Right. It was a good game. I enjoyed those.
Codenames is fun.
Oh yeah.
Is it a board game though?
I would classify it as a board game, like in the same.
There's pieces.
It's not like a typical card game, right? So like something
That's true.
Like Exploding Kittens is the same sort of thing. It's not a board game.
Right.
But it falls under that same category.
Yeah.
I think Codenames is actually more of a board game than Exploding Kittens is.
Oh yeah, I don't think Exploding Kittens is a board game.
Yeah.
I think it's a card game.
But would
there's no board.
But there kind of is a board. You lay out the board. It's just it's a changing board based off of
Exploding Kittens.
Oh no. I'm talking about Codenames now.
No, yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
What I love about Codenames though is it's strategy. There is an aspect of
it's word strategy.
And it's part of it is you have to know your partner.
Yeah.
You need to be like me and you would be like, I'd say we would be really good at this because
you think so?
we talk in nuanced ways that are so dumb that no one else understands. Like I'd be like, if it was one word, let's say it's having a cheese stick, and you're like, psychopath.
Yeah.
Like you would know what I was leading to, right?
Yeah.
Like because we have it's a better game if you know who you're working with.
Yeah,
it's more fun,
especially as far as a defense goes. Because if you're playing that game, also I guess I don't know if people who are listening have played this game, but essentially it's called Codenames, meaning like
Kid
you're
Next
saying Codename Kid Next Door. Yeah, exactly. So you say a word. And you're trying to get your partner to guess multiple words that are on the board based off of that one code word.
Right.
And
certain words are yours. And if they say it, and they're like, I think it's this one.
Yeah.
And that's, if it's yours, then you get a point. If it's the other team's, they get a point.
Right, exactly.
Or there's neutral words.
Right. We don't have to get into the entirety of it. But
that's how you win.
Essentially, you're trying to give code words so that they choose something specific. Yeah. But it's better if you have a partner who you have inside jokes with.
Yeah.
Because then, as a defense, if you say that word, the other team has no idea what you're talking about, so they can't choose their cards based off of what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, because some of them can be similar, and then if they get it, if there's two options and they get it wrong, then the other one's like if they're trying to get them to say the word cat, but there's also tiger on there, and you're like lion, and they're like so they pick tiger and it was cat. Then the other team's gonna be like, oh, cat, and they get a point.
Yeah, exactly.
They know. Anyways, move on. I think that's a fun game.
Great game. Yeah. One time I got 7 in a row on that.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That was the best I ever did. I mean, there was multiple chances.
Yeah. Someone said Last Night on Earth. I've never played that. You play that?
No, I don't know what that is.
Salem. I have played that. That's fun.
Salem's fun.
The Haunting of the House on the Hill. That was Emily. You said you've played this?
Yeah, I have. That's a really fun game. It's like a murder mystery-esque. It's like a...
Close to.
Paul, what would you say it is?
He's never played it, I thought.
Oh. It's a haunted house where you're trying to get enough supplies to get out of the house before this killer comes.
So it's the real life version of Get Out.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, is that really what it is? Maybe it's been a while. I've played it once, and I also might be mixing it up with another game.
Alex is like, I thought is not the one with the llamas on it?
The one
haunted llamas?
Haunted llamas. Yeah. We should make that game. That sounds great.
That is a great game.
Actually,
Copyright.
not a board game though. We make it just a party game. Like what's that game? Not Mafia. It's the one where you're like walking around. You have to kill people at night.
That's Mafia.
No. But it's like where you're walking around. Oh shoot, what's it called? I think it's called Murder or something like that. Murder in the Dark. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. You're playing weird games.
But it's what you don't kill people for your games.
No.
Strategy. Right.
So Villainous is one of the games that we've been playing a lot lately that I've really enjoyed, and it's one of the I don't totally know. Right, there's 6 main. That was a weird sense. There's 6 main people in the original version. There's all these other versions,
add-ons, yeah,
but they're not just add-ons. They're designed to be standalone, so you can buy the smaller pack that's 2 to 3 people. They're all villains, and you can play it just that, from what I'm understanding. But I don't know if they add on to the original 6. I don't think they do. I think they swap out with the other characters. So I think the most you can play with is 6 people.
Oh, really? You're not allowed to play with more?
I don't think you can play with more.
Is it because of lack of resources?
I think it's lack of resource. And
okay.
And I think it'd just be too confusing because it's already a pretty confusing game. But Villainous, the premise, you are a villain. Yeah. Disney villain.
Right.
And you are trying to complete your task, which is to,
foil the plan of
ruin things.
Your heroic counterpart.
And other people, you are playing your own game. This is what I really like about it. If I'm Prince John, I have a specific task that I have to do to win.
Right.
If you're Ursula, you have a very specific task that you have to do to win.
Yeah.
My task is completely different than your task. Mm-hmm. But I can slow down your task by playing specific ways and adding heroes to your board that slow you down and cause issues and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We won't explain all of it because it would take forever because it's a really hard game to understand at the start.
Yeah, it is.
But once I had an understanding of the game, I love it. It's so much fun because the thing is, there's 6 characters and each one is a different game.
Yeah.
So not only is each game a new game because of the way the cards are shuffled, blah, 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 there's 6 characters that you have to try and master.
Right.
Right? It's not like playing just a random game where you're like, well, I like this one.
Yeah, and you're trying to master it while also slowing down somebody else.
Right.
And so like your game could be different if like you're playing King John and you've played him twice in a row, but I've changed from Ursula to Captain Hook or something like that because how I'm going to play against you is different.
Well, and if I played with Prince John, I'm like, I got a pretty good idea of how to play with him. You play with them, you might play it a completely different way. So my slowing you down might be like, oh, I know how to play this person. I'll try and slow you down, and it won't do anything.
Right.
Because
it's very adaptive per person.
Yeah, it's a fun game. And then you add all the little different characters. So now they've got a Marvel series. They got all stuff. Tons of fun.
Such a marketable game too. You can expand it forever.
So I'm really starting to. I really like that game.
Yeah.
We haven't played it a ton, but I'm really starting to like it. But it's not my favorite game.
Yeah.
What did you say? Quelf was your favorite?
Well, no, I'm gonna take it back and say Cranium.
Cranium. Oh man, Cranium's good.
Cranium's really good.
I really want to play Cranium now. I'm probably gonna buy it as soon as this is over.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm gonna get off of this podcast and go buy Cranium.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not gonna go buy it. I'm just gonna buy it.
Well, on Amazon, obviously.
And it'll be here.
We'll buy everything
by the time I wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be great. And I'll be here too when you wake up, and we'll play it.
Sounds good. My favorite game though is Catan. It's such a good game, and I did not play Catan for a while.
Yeah.
The hype went up, and I was like, I don't know. We didn't really have anyone. Tony was actually the one that brought Catan, and as soon as we played it, I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing the first time. They did not explain it well.
Yeah.
And I put both of my pieces right next to each other.
Oh,
really close. Because I was like, I don't know. These look fine. I don't totally understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that meant that I had to then build off of those, and there was no way for me to escape, and I got boxed in really quick, and I ended the game with like 4 points.
Nice.
Once I figured that out, though, there was no turning back for me. Like, I love that game. I'm good at that game, and I'm mean in that game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and there's a lot of strategy involved. So, like, one of the aspects is, like, you can build the longest road, and you have to have 5 connecting pieces, connecting roads, and then whoever has the most, whoever gets there first gets those, then it's 2 points. You're trying to get 10 points.
Right.
Then in order to get the longest road and take it from someone, you have to take 2. You have to have 1 more than what they have.
Right.
Roads built. Like, there is parts of that game where I'm like, I could steal longest road right now, but I won't because I don't want to have it because I want to get 3 points in one turn.
Yeah.
And I'll get 3 points in one turn to instantly win. And like, there's all these ways in which to do it. It's
to compound those points. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much fun. And so you're like playing your own game, but you're kind of dependent on other people because you can trade and you can lie. But no one ever lies in this house over trading because it just gets too heated and people get scary. And then no one trades with those person anyway because there's always someone that's willing to trade face up.
I always lie on trading.
Yeah, we know.
Lie on trading and hoard sheep. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, and that's why no one wants to trade with you,
baby.
No one wants to trade with you, and you just have a lot of sheep.
They trade with me when they're asking for sheep, though, because like they know that I'm gonna give them
Reginald my
sheep.
You still give them a different sheep.
I love in that game. I love
a different card.
When somebody goes, "I'll give you 1 wheat for a brick," and I say, "Okay," and then I give them a wheat, and so we just trade the same.
I know that's your
thing.
joke, man.
It's so good.
It's a good one.
But you have to do it right. You know, you have to do it like where you don't you do honest trading for a while, upside down, and then you pull out this is the person I'm just gonna give the same thing back.
But the fun part about the game too is that we just built like as our friend group built a camaraderie around it.
Yeah,
we're like when we play, if I say I want a rock, everyone says rock.
Everybody says rock. Yeah,
right, and we don't call them sheep. They're called
babas. Yeah.
That started one night. I just called it a babas because I couldn't get the word sheep out. They just never let it down. Like, so now it's babas.
Yeah.
Like, so whenever we play with people, we teach them, we're like, these are babas. And they're like, oh, they're sheep. We're like, no.
Yeah.
They're babas.
They're babas. See, you guys infected me when I came over and played, because I had played it with Micah, Ruth, and Austin before. Mm-hmm. And I came back and they were calling it ore and lumber and sheep, and I started calling it rock and wood and babas.
Okay, so we played. I have to be honest with you. We played this one time at your house.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
On New Year's.
Yeah.
You had a New Year's Eve party.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it was, which is good. I wouldn't say their name anyways. But they came in and they were like, "It's not called wood. It's called lumber. I hate when people say the wrong word or whatever." And later she's like, "You hand me a rock," and I was like, "It's called ore."
You
like,
did?
I was like,
did you say it to her?
Yeah, I was super sassy. I'm like, you can't come in here all hot and heavy about you got to call them by the right name and then call it rock. It's called ore.
Yeah.
And it's is it wheat? Is wheat the actual? I feel like that's not wheat. I feel like it was something else. Grain. I think it's grain. But then there was like wheat, and I'm like, it's grain. Like
yeah.
No one wants to say these words. It's fun. It's wood, wheat. I want a rock, babas.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it is
brick.
fun that way.
And you say brick house because it's funny.
Yeah.
You just add your own things to it. There's something in my eye. Say something funny while I pick my eye.
Good one. What's up?
Anyways, that's my favorite. I love it. I love Catan. I love to destroy people with Catan. I love to surround people. That's a really fun one. I did that the last time we played, where I think it was Paul. I was building roads like crazy, and Tony and I battle each other the most.
Yeah.
And usually when that's happening, usually game one, Tony and I win. Then Tony and I get competitive against each other. And then Paul's just quietly just building. And then Paul wins, right? And then Paul wins a good amount. But Tony and I are the dominant ones.
Yeah.
And Paul is not like way far behind. But because we are so combative towards each other, Tony and I become the ones that like
are a detriment to each other.
Yeah. And we are ruling the game very clearly. And like if we were to play a game where Tony and I were like somewhat playing together, we would be an unstoppable force on the Catan board. Like, Paul would be doomed because we would just pick on Paul. Because he'd be like, who's the next one in the pecking order? It's Paul, right? Like,
yeah. But who would Paul's teammate be? Probably Emily, right? I feel like they're probably similar on the strategy.
I don't think I've played with Emily. She's smart. She would do well at this game.
So then it'd be me and your wife just hoarding sheep?
Yeah. No, Erica's like, so well, that was hard to say. She still tries to not let me win.
Yeah.
She doesn't actively attempt to win. She actively attempts to make me lose.
The thorn in your side in that game.
Yeah, that's what she wants.
Yeah.
She does not like when I win because of the smirk earlier. And she's like, I just want to, right? So, anyways, all I'd say, in our friend group, the understanding, whether it's right or wrong, depending on the opinion, is at this game, it's Tony and I which battle for the top.
Yeah, right.
Paul is like right there. He wins probably almost as much as us. Just we're just a little more aggressive about it.
Yeah.
So then when Tony's not here and it's me against Paul, like I build roads. That's always what I'm gonna build as many roads as possible.
Yeah.
And I trap people in. And the last time we played, I literally trapped Paul in this like little alcove.
Perfect.
Like I was not even going for points.
That's cruel.
I just trapped him in.
Because roads don't give you points. Only buildings do. So you just went for sabotage.
No, it was better though. It was even better. I trapped him in Like while still building stuff, because you had to do it because there's a lot of nuanced rules. He could have come back and split those roads, blah blah. I trapped him in though, and then I could have been winning, but I went and started trapping his other person.
Oh no. That's amazing.
It was great. It was a fun time because everyone else was not really playing super like competitively, but Paul and I were just like going at each other because it was fun for us.
You are playing. That's like a me strategy where I'm like, I don't care about winning. I just want to troll somebody.
We'd each already won once. Though. Yeah. Like we do that on the third game. You're like the second hand in. You're like, I'm gonna trade you some sheep. And we only have wheat, and you're like, "Who needs wheat? I'll give you a sheep."
Classic joke.
And you just trade wheat with them, and like round 2, and people are like, "Good one, Alex."
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna organize a Catan night, and that I'm just not gonna be at here soon, just so that you guys can have a good time. It's kind of like if a child were to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get myself a babysitter." So that you guys can go out on a date. Like, that's what I feel like that would be.
Alex is going to organize a game night where other people come to the game night so that you can play Jackbox and we can play Catan.
I won't even play Jackbox. I'll go read or something while you guys just enjoy your Catan.
You could just you could be cooking dinner. Because normally I'm cooking dinner. I could do that. You can cook dinner.
I can cook dinner for you guys. I'll like learn bartending or something like that.
We're just like looking out back. There's just fire billowing out of it. It's like, it's all good. It's all good. Keep playing. You could make a sheep.
Wow.
We could have some sheep.
That's just taking a turn. What's for dinner? Lamb kebab. Is this Reginald that you traded to me last time? Yeah. All right.
Well, so your definitive favorite game is Cranium.
Yeah. Anything I can think of right now, Cranium. It's so much fun.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I hope one day you find a love for Catan that we all in this group share.
Yeah.
And I hope that you find a love. And usually, I think what has to happen is you got to get your first win.
No, I've won the game before.
No, against our friends.
With you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's something about when you beat your friends, there's like I owned you kind of moment.
Yeah.
And in this group, games are so competitive.
Yeah.
I think it'll change your heart a little bit. Just a little.
Yeah.
You'll become a little eviler.
There
will be a little more like,
I know at one point I did get 1 point away from winning and somebody else won and I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
I was like, I was so close.
Yeah.
It's going to be the underdog with all the sheep coming up. And
I think that like once that happens, the dam will break for you.
Yeah.
In Catan against our friends. And you'll be like,
I can play.
It's going to be like a new beginning. You're going to be like Batman and Batman Begins, like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like you are reborn and you are now Sheep Man.
Sheep Man.
I am.
Love.
Now you're not Sheep King that your sheep do all the work. You're Sheep King and you protect your flock.
Yeah. And I make new places for the flock.
It's like, we are expanding our lands.
Yeah.
You come with a staff.
Come with me, sheep. To the new town.
You block Paula and you go, you shall not pass.
This sounds amazing. I can't wait to play Catan and not cook for you guys.
But our next game night. Okay, I want to end with this, and then I'll ask you for your words of wisdom.
Yes.
For my graduation, we did a theme party, and I'd asked for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can pick a theme, and then I really wanted 90s theme.
Yeah.
So then we ended up doing 90s theme because I asked for it. I was like, no, I really want I want 90s theme, but mix in a little bit of that 80s fun. Yeah. It's all good. I think we should start having themed game nights. I think themed game nights would take most people's average, like, oh, this was a fun night, to a new level. I think we should have, like, you pick your partner. We have a game night.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm recommending this to anyone listening. You organize a game night where you say, okay, we're playing teamed games tonight.
Yeah.
So you come with your partner. Find someone. You have to. Phone a friend.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who. Like, I wouldn't pick my wife.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Like, I'm picking Paul because he's vicious enough. Or I'm going to call up Tony and be like, hey, kick Alex's side. We got to win this. We got to dominate everyone tonight. Right? Like, I'm not. You and my wife can be a team. You'll be great.
Yeah.
You just,
Hey, if we're playing Cranium, we're going to destroy the acting and drawing ones, okay?
You're the underdog.
Let me tell you.
If we're playing Cranium, maybe I'll pull my wife in. I need a well-rounded team.
Yeah.
Tony would be my enemy in Cranium because that'd be team, not partner, right? Yeah. But you do theme, and like then you got to come dressed up, whatever theme you guys are going with, right? Like you got to be.
So it's a team outfit.
Yeah, exactly. You got to come with. You got to create a team outfit.
What's the word? Uniform.
Yeah, exactly. So like you choose how you're gonna be. I think it'd be a great time.
My team would be togas every time.
You'd be Team Toga. All right. That's an issue. So you're going to go make togas? Buy toga?
I'll make a toga.
Like, because I really thought, it'd be fun to be a caveman team.
I would sew Katoa.
We're not doing math here.
All right, cool.
What do you think? Themed game nights.
I would do it.
I think they would change game night.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would definitely change game nights.
Right. Imagine if we played Marvel.
We played
Marvel Villainous. And we all came as different Marvel characters.
As the villains?
Yeah.
I would totally dress as Thanos.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got. What's your words of wisdom, Batman?
You should play some board games, and if you're bad at board games, just dress up in a toga. That's pretty good wisdom right there.
Show it to Jackbox game night.
Just sitting on the couch, slumped over, all sad, just in a toga.
But you're like, legs are crossed.
Eating some Doritos.
Legs crossed to keep everything contained. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is a mighty fine house you have here.
Is it normally this cold in your house? This is weird.
You wear the crown too?
Yeah, with the leaf crown.
Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. Well, you heard it here. Put on your toga and have a board game party.
All right.
You sounded so excited about it. All right, let's do it.
I'm down.
Could I ever be on your team?
Yeah.
Would you ever kick Tony out to have me on your team?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think Tony would kick you out before you'd kick Tony
definitely.
out.
If we're playing anything strategic, she'd probably choose somebody else. She's way more cold-hearted in Catan than I am.
Oh, yeah. She's vicious.
Yeah.
Well,
but it also is nice because then I don't feel bad about being cold-hearted back to her.
Yeah, that's nice. My wife is secretly vicious, and all of a sudden she's like, I have 10. And you're like, what the? Nobody was even watching you.
Yeah.
She's sneaky. You got to watch the quiet ones. Well, go play a board game. Have a board game night with your family or your friends. It's a good time. Get off. And Jackbox is fun. Stay away from the phone. There's too many distractions from each other. Have a board game night where you all come in and you put your phones down and you just spend time together.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Do it with your family. Do it with some friends.
Do it in a toga.
Invite us. We'll come. It'll be a fun time. Alex will wear a toga unless you specifically request him not to. We'll even take requests. If you want us to come as a couple theme, we'll come as a themed couple.
Yep. You bet.
Whatever
Any day
you
of
want.
the week.
Any day of the week.
Except the day of the week that we film this podcast.
Yeah. Or his wedding. We'll be busy.
That's true.
Well, thanks for listening. And remember, stay out.